This is Pet Life Radio. Let's talk pets.
And welcome. You're here live with Dr. Jeff Werber, and here at the VMX, formerly the North American Veterinary Conference, probably the nation's largest conference. I think there are like 18,000 people here. It got so big that they went from a one hotel to two hotels side by side, and now the Orlando Convention Center, which is just huge. And it's amazing that this is the place where we go, veterinarians and vendors, and everyone's strutting their stuff. They must have, 50 sessions every hour. Like being a restaurant and having that 5-page menu, and you scratch, you say, oh my God, everything looks so good, what do I do? And that's kind of what it's like here for a veterinarian. They come here for the CE, continuing education. And, it's interesting now that how many states, if not all, require a certain amount of CE. The reasons for that are obvious, is that, basically when you think about it, I remember when I was in school, which was a long time ago, one of my mentors actually said to me, she goes, Jeffrey, I just want you to remember one thing. Every 5 years, half of what was known to be as gospel is obsolete. So for fun, I'm a pack rat, I'll admit it. Not a hoarder, just a pack rat. Anyway, I have all my old textbooks from school. These are 40 years old. So it's so funny because I look at these textbooks now and I'm saying, oh my God, did we actually learn that? Was that how we used to treat this disease? There's some medications there that don't even exist. Just an anesthesia. The old anesthetic agent that we used to use is it's not even made anymore. So, that's how fast things change. And that's why these conferences are so important. And, there are so many industries that are just blooming. And you walk in the exhibit hall, they're like, I think, 25 aisles. And each one has probably, 30 booths. It's football fields. It's mind-boggling. So here with one of my special guests, someone I've worked with over the years. Actually, for those of you who want to love him, he used to have a major rescue in Los Angeles. That's where we met. And he was saving zillions of dogs. I had the pleasure, sometimes lack or displeasure, of treating and working with those dogs. But here we are. And then he moved to Austin, Texas. And it's funny, we totally lost touch for many years. And I was at an AVMA conference 5 years ago, maybe?
About 5 years ago, yeah.
And in Chicago. And
my first one, actually.
And I see this guy. I said, wait a second, I know him. That's Chance. And I said, what are you doing in a vet conference? And Chance developed one of the coolest microchips on the planet. And it has now become probably one of the number one selling microchips. So we're here to talk about microchips in general, and also, of course, talk about what Chance's company, Save This Life, has done that makes it sort of different and unique at the same time. So anyway, just welcome Chance White.
How you doing?
So I'm doing great. So first, let's talk about microchips, the importance of just make sure all pets are microchipped.
Well, we believe a microchip is not just about the implant, it's about saving a life. And that's the most important part. There's only one reason that people actually microchip their pets. And what is that?
Identification.
They want them back.
Right.
That's it. And without that, they can't get them back.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's the law.
Right.
Because pets are considered personal property. The microchip is the only proof that you actually own that actual pet. So traditionally, would you explain how microchips started and how they worked? And they've been the same way for the last 25 years plus.
So basically, I've been involved in the microchip industry back in the days of Trovan. Okay. Yep. And that was like sort of the first technology.
TR number.
Right. And then Avid came along, which is still out there. AVID,
Norco, California.
Right. Actually, the head of marketing was one of my high school classmates.
Really?
Yeah.
No, so I give them credit for putting microchipping in a premium spot.
So, but over the years, things have changed. But basically, in order to identify a pet with a microchip, unless people are walking around with scanners, which, by the way, have changed over the years, in their back pocket, there's no way to identify it. So, it's interesting how the world has changed. And what do? Well, you find a dog, you take it to your veterinarian, you take it to the nearest shelter. That's how we identify the pet. Someone has to scan the pet.
Correct.
And, it's great. And it's a form of identification that can't be modified.
Correct.
It can't be removed. So in that sense, it's in my opinion, the best form of identification. But not to say you shouldn't have an ID tag as well. So nothing really has changed. As Chance has mentioned, it's been the same principle. You have a chip, implant a chip, and in order to make the ID, you have to scan. And people don't own scanners.
Correct.
So how did Save This Life happen?
So just to give a quick little background, I happen to have a little prop here for you. My competition, one of my competitors. You ever heard of this company?
Sure. Home again. Yeah.
The most popular microchip on the planet. Okay. The reason being, it's the oldest. It's been their longest. Now, if you look, each one of their ID tags, can you see that?
Yeah.
It's a yellow tag.
A little rubber plastic. Yeah.
Right, with ink stamped on it.
Yes.
Now, living in Austin, Texas, in the heat, when the sun comes and it gets reflected on that tag, just through wear and tear, do you think that tag's readable? Of the ones that you've seen over the years?
Over the years, no.
Very
100%.
difficult.
Correct.
Okay, so now when I put this on a group of adopted puppies, as we did in your clinic, what happens to those tags instantly?
Well, first of all, they're going to get chewed on. They're going to lose their ink.
Gone.
Yeah, right.
They're gone.
Of course.
So you already missed one of the most important obstacles to overcome is don't put a cheap plastic tag on your pet if that's the only possibility without that scanner for them to actually be found. I mean, that's the bottom line. So what we said is we came out of the gates right away with an aluminum ID tag that says, what does it say on this tag?
It says,
Google this number
to find my family.
To find my family. What? So wait a minute. The other side is it's an 800 number. I flip the tag over as a microchip number. Well, this tag says save this life on the 800 number, but when I flip it over, it says Google this number to find my family. So being the smart consumer that you are, what would you do?
Take out my handy-dandy phone.
And Google the number.
And Google the number.
Simple. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you, and hopefully you get some good view of this. I'm going to take my microchip number. I'm going to put it in here because I've never done this before. 900-164-000-41142. That happens to be one of my dogs. So now all I do is I put the microchip number in Google. As you can see, nothing else, no tricks included. And I hit search. Now, when I search it, what you see comes up is a link to Save This Life's website at the very top. And you see a picture of the pet right there. So what would you do if you saw this link there?
I'd click on it.
Click on the link. Super simple, super easy. So now, as you can see, you can allow or not allow the location of where you're standing with this lost pet. So I want to allow this, so I say OK. So once I say OK, as you can see, I've got information about the pet. I've got a picture of the pet. And what I've created is a private way to send a text message and an email directly to the actual pet owner without sharing that information with anyone. So it's completely private. So you have no idea where this person is standing when they find your pet. Right. So if I've said don't allow, they still wouldn't know, but yet they could still send a text and email. Correct.
How about if they allow? I like
if they allow, so now I know the actual location. And I'm going to show you the allowed version so you can see why this is so important and how we've actually changed the game forever. So in email, I'm going to put Jeff@Gmail just for fun. Jeff@Gmail. And I've never done this before, just so you know. Okay? And then what's your phone number?
310.
You going to tell that in public?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You guys, hey, you all know that you can call me anytime. When you have a pet problem, we're talking telemedicine, you can get a hold of me. 980-7013.
7013. Okay. So now we all have a question on there at the bottom that says, does this pet need medical attention? Yes or no?
I say no.
Say no. So now the pet owner that gets this is not worried. Well, that pet owner happens to be me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit send. Boop. Now watch the screen. I got a message just now that came in. And would you read that for me, Jeff? What does it say? Actually, I'll let you see it first.
Okay. Let me see. And it says, urgent pet alert from Save This Life. Please contact jeff@gmail.com with the phone number. Your pet doesn't need medical attention. Report location of your lost pet.
Now, what does that say? The reported location of your lost pet. You love your pet. You're out the door. You're freaking out, but you don't know where they are.
Right.
You click on that link. Show what happens.
All right.
Let's see.
So the point is that you get a text message at the same time. So in case you run into an issue like that, you also get an email at the exact same time that shows you. Of course, I'm not getting an email. So I'm going to explain it.
Here. So as you can see, the map comes up slowly. Now it says reported location of your lost pet.
Check out.
You see the map?
A Google map comes up and you see the pin.
Now watch this.
That's where
I'm going to drop the pin right on the location of where we are right here, right now. What do you know? What's this right here? Is this the conference center? What?
So here we are.
And you can see it's a 360 view. So anywhere I move the phone, you'll actually see exactly where the person is standing with your lost pet. Ta-da! I dropped the mic and I'm out. Pretty cool. So that being said, that's how we've changed the industry forever.
But also, let me add another thing that everyone should know about, and this is what upsets me sometimes with some of the companies that are still out there. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure you've seen the changes over the years with the numbers, the microchip numbers, and now the system. If you have your pet scanned, or if you have your pet's number written down somewhere, you might see a 10-digit code that is a mixture of letters and numbers.
Which is encrypted.
It's encrypted.
Correct.
You might see one that starts with AVID.
Which is also considered encrypted.
And then finally, we'll explain what encrypted is. And also the old Trovan originals, TR dash and then a number.
Correct.
The problem is these chips are not ISO certified.
Correct.
That's the International Standard Organization.
Correct.
And every
recognized
chip,
all over the world.
Right. So what happens is, heaven forbid you're traveling with your pet is lost, or you're traveling trying to get into a country. If they can't scan your pet to identify it,
correct,
you have to have your own scanner with you. Which
that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Right. And so how many people are gonna go ahead and actually carry walk around with a scanner?
And a little fun fact, you realize what's the only country in the world that recognizes the encrypted chips? There's only one country besides that recognizes anything but the ISO as their only chip.
Is that us?
United States of America.
Right. So in other words, a lot of our scanners will read both chips, but typically you need to have a chip that everybody can read. It's called the universal chip, and that is the newer chip. So again,
15 digits,
yep. All numerical.
Correct.
Usually start with a 9, but it can start with anything.
Mm-hmm.
So at least the bigger companies here in the U.S., including Save This Life, have benefited and started using an ISO chip.
Correct.
So anyway, it's the way to go. So you want to make sure, because if you plan on leaving the country with your pet,
mm-hmm.
And another thing that worries me is that because of the ISO chip, a lot of the companies that are making scanners are not making that scanner anymore. They can read the old chips.
Right.
So you may have done your homework. You got your pet microchip years ago,
mm-hmm.
and everything is great, and you're thinking everything's going to be fine. Guess what? We're at a shelter or a pet hospital that has an ISO scanner. That's all you need nowadays, and they won't be able to read your pet's chip.
Correct.
So it's very important to talk to your veterinarian, and let's get this squared. Now, but before we go on our break, just take this in. You want to check out Save This Life microchip. But when we come back, we're going to talk about you can actually have the benefits of the service that Save This Life provides without having a Save This Life microchip.
Correct.
It's a microchip. It's a microchip. It's a microchip.
That's
especially,
right. But the registration is the only reason
So
we exist.
when we come back, we'll let you know that how you can get the same added benefit for relatively inexpensive, and I mean $25, $20 to register your pet and to be able to have lifetime registration, no annual fees, to go ahead and do this. So, all right. Anyway, when we come back, don't go away. We'll be right here back with Chance White and me, Dr. Jeff Werber, here at VMX, North American Veterinary Conference, and having a blast.
We'll be right back, right after these messages. Stay tuned.
Does your dog itch, scratch, stink, or shed like crazy? Come to Dynovite for help.
Order a 90-day supply of Dynovite.
Dynovite for life.
Pick up 2 tubes of Dogosuds.
Get the 3rd tube free.
Peppermint, tea tree, lavender, Dogosud shampoo.
Made with all-natural coconut, jojoba, aloe. Great for healthy skin and soft, shiny coats.
But no itchy, harsh chemicals.
Lather up, rinse away.
Try Dogosuds. Buy 2, get 1 free.
At Dynovite.com.
DINOVITE.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hey there. So, welcome back. And Mark, I don't see Mark, our producer, usually puts his pretty face right on the thing, too. So anyway, first of all, if you have any questions about microchipping, get a hold of me right now as we speak. You can just either send me an email as we go to drjeff@petliferadio.com, or better yet, you can join us live here. You can also be live with us here, with Chance and I here at the show. And that is, you go on to Pet Life Radio, click on the Ask the Vets with Dr. Jeff tab, and you will see a Google Hangouts link. They work on Google too.
There you go.
So Save This Life is not the only company working with Google here. And you can join us live right here on the show, ask questions. If any stories you have, and I have so many stories of people that have been reunited with their pets because of microchipping.
Correct.
And we hear about it all the time. And so it's a great way to be able to, sort of connect pet with family. And how about, I just reported on this last week or the week before, that a pet was gone for 8 years and went from, I think it was Texas to Louisiana, some ridiculous, and reunited after 8 years. So it is magic. It's the best way. So 2 things. First of all, if you do plan, we mentioned this before the break, that if you do plan on traveling with your pet out of the United States, you need to talk to your veterinarian because it's more likely than not you're going to want to re-implant your pet with an ISO chip, ISO, and your veterinarian will know all about it. If you have a current microchip and you are not planning on leaving the country, you can still benefit from the technology that Save This Life provides. Right. So let's talk about what do you do if your pet is already chipped, no need to re-chip, correct, but you want to take the advantage of being able to Google your dog.
Well, the biggest thing you said that's important is you cannot leave the country without having an ISO microchip implanted in your pet. So you're right about that. You have to get an ISO chip in order to enter and exit the country, unless you want to buy a scanner to carry around with you, which doesn't help you because nobody else in the country that you're in cares about that because they don't have that scanner. Right. So that being said, the most important part about what we do, and we feel it's a fundamental part, is the registration. This is what's going to save your pet's life. 9 out of 10 pet owners have no idea who their pet is registered to. Correct. They may know Dr. Jeff put it in, but they never went in and updated their information. Right. So what we do is we made it brainless and painless. You can register online. Use our website at savethislife.com and register instantly. You can fill this form out. You can scan it and email it to us. Or worst case scenario, pick up the phone and call us. We do it for you for free. There's no charge to register. It's included in the cost of the chip. So that being said, the most important thing you can do for your pet before you even leave the clinic is get that registration done. You do that all the time anyway because you've been in the business long enough to know people just don't do it. They get a puppy, they get excited, they take one of their kids, they get, has an accident in its diaper. Next thing you know, the dog poops on the floor. The last thing they're doing is saying, oh, let me fill this thing out. It doesn't make any sense. So what we also have is a benefit that all the things you just saw us do, the text message, the email, the Google map, and a live operator calling you to verify you lost or found that pet, you can do that if you log into savethislife.com, go to register a microchip, and when you register that microchip, I can take a Home Again chip, I can take an Avid chip, I can take any chip out there in the industry. I can register that, whether it's ISO or non-ISO, because the patent that we have, it covers any alphanumeric or numeric code that works in conjunction with all the other art that we put together. So that big package of what we call an actual recovery system, you can have that for $20. It's $19.99 plus shipping and handling. So technically it's $23.98 with tracking and insurance included. So with every single microchip, you get the lifetime registration, you get the microchip with the aluminum ID tag. But here's what's fun. We have a partnership with Pet First Health Insurance. You get 1 full year of $1,000 of lost pet health insurance. So God forbid your pet gets out, got hit by a car, or something happened to it. You'd be covered for 1 full year by Pet First, up to $1,000. Wow. So last year we added, very successfully I might add, we added 30 days of accidental illness insurance. Now what does that provide? Anything that happens to your pet in that first 30 days. So doctor, when puppies are adopted from a shelter, when do they usually break with parvo?
Oh, it could be 6 days, 7 days later.
Okay. And your kitty that you bring home, what do they get upper respiratory in the first?
3 to 4 or 5 days.
There you go. So that 30 days covers literally anything that happens to your pet. Whether it breaks a toenail, whether it gets cut, it does not matter. Pet First is the company that we go to. We've been partnered with them for 6 years, and this is no kidding. In 6 years, never a complaint about Pet First. Really? Not one. Not even they said this and did that. Nothing. So we're very loyal to them because they've been very helpful to us, and we believe they provide a great service, and our customers, our adopted families, the people that we deal with directly, are overwhelmed with the product that they have or the service that they provide. So I appreciate the business that we have with Pet First Health Insurance. I
now,
really do.
One thing you've said a couple of times, and I just want to reiterate, that the registration, be it part of the microchip, for free if you get the microchip implanted, or if you want to register an existing chip. $20, $19.99 with shipping and handling of the chip. First of all,
and I forgot to say, we send you the custom ID tag for that $20. It says, Google this number. Your pet's existing number goes on here. And you also receive both of the insurance policies for $20.
And here's the key that I just wanted to let our listeners and our viewers know. That $20 is a one-time fee.
That's correct.
Most of the other microchip companies out there,
$20 annual.
And they will have some sort of annual fee.
Correct.
And if you call to move and you want to change your phone number, change your email address, change your physical address, you're going to get charged. So one thing that sort of swung me over to using Save This Life, not just because I've known Chance for so long and I know how much he's done for the rescue world, but more importantly is because it just makes logical sense. You don't want to ever feel like you're being nickel and dime to death. Anytime you have to change any information, you just call them up, or it's done. Free, no charge.
And if you want to do it yourself, you get a password and login. You can log in yourself, go to the website. You can handle it 100%, all software. No Nobody to deal with.
Right. So, I think it really is. It's one of the greatest things. And, again, I've sort of threatened you guys over the many years. And as we talk about telemedicine and telehealth.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I just want to let you know the chances, one of my partners, he and I kind of been lamenting about the industry for years, about how difficult it is and how much money is being spent unnecessarily in emergency clinics, how the millennial wants things, they want it now. So, we're doing our telemedicine, telehealth app together. And so you're going to be hearing in the next several months a lot more about it. Hopefully by the time we go to the next big conference, and it's called the Western Veterinary Conference, WVC in Las Vegas, that's in February, we will have a lot more to talk to you about. But again, keep an eye out for that. It's going to be great for you, great for your pets. It is going to it gives you such a peace of mind to know that you'll be able to get a hold of, if not your veterinarian, hopefully your veterinarian, but at least a veterinarian 24/7. So when you have, and that veterinarian is basically going to be working with your own veterinarian. So it's not a scenario where they're trying to pull business away. You love your vet. We want you to love your vet. I know my clients adore me. So the key really is going to be, let's get someone there to talk to you at whenever your veterinarian or one of your veterinary staff is not available. We'll pick up the slack for them. But basically, the relationship that you guys have developed for years is going to stay that relationship.
Peace of mind is priceless.
Absolutely. So anyway, I think, again, I have to see where we're at. Oh, my God, we have a couple of minutes. So just so you know that when you see a veterinarian, you should just ask him or her, have they had a chance to go to some of these conferences? Because I have to tell you, because of the role I play in the media world and the business world, you know that I go to all of them. But there is so much amazing information. People always joke, Jeff, how do you stay current? I say two ways. Number one, I go to conferences. And number two, I hire young doctors. Because in that every 5-year cycle when things are becoming obsolete, for them it's not obsolete. That's the new stuff. It's fresh. So I get to take advantage of that. But no, these things are invaluable. Plus, it's great for marketing, socializing. Networking is unreal. A lot of our partners in different things, the people we want to meet,
collaborate with. We got some great collaborations we're working on right now, and I think these partnerships are what helps big business become major businesses.
Right. Absolutely.
It's not. We live in a different world in the vet space. I think it's an incredible place to be. People are very passionate about what they do. They love their work. I mean, Jeff is never on his phone trying to deal with clients ever. Never digging videos or calling, nothing ever.
So it's interesting that one of my colleagues is here at VMX. I don't know if you know me, Dr. Damien, who had to move back to Argentina, had his baby, and her family and his family are back there. But so he's here. He's working. We're going to take you over. He's working with a U.S. company, and so he's been to vet shows in Argentina.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So he comes here and he's looking around. He's going, "Whoa, this is amazing!" It's like you said, it's like a football field of just hundreds and hundreds of vendors and companies and different things going on and different services being offered, all for the benefit of your pets.
That's true.
And that's great.
I think it's the best show in the country.
Oh, it's great.
By far.
So anyway, thanks for joining me here on Pet Life Radio's Ask the Vets with Dr. Jeff. We love having you. And if you ever want to get a hold of me and how to do it, it's Dr. Jeff, Jeff at PetLifeRadio.com. You can also join me on Instagram at Dr. Jeff Werber. And if nothing else, besides some education, you're going to see a lot of cute animals. And me getting a lot of time. So anyway, have a great week, everybody. I'm off next week. I'm at the Colorado Vet Med Association Conference in Vail. Yes, I will be snowboarding, but we'll be back the week after that. So if you have any questions, anything you want me to talk about, just get a hold of me at drjeff@PetLifeRadio.com and have a great week, or in this case, 2 weeks, everybody. See you soon.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.